about Jean-Claude.
What? You're cheating on me with another podcast?
Yes, I am.
What?
I am. I'm just a guest. I'm just a guest on the other
Oh,
one.
okay.
Okay. Welcome to Slow and Steady, the podcast where you get to follow along as we build products in public. Each episode gives you an honest peek into our lives as we share our struggles, our wins, and everything in between. I'm Benedicta, and I'm feeling relieved.
And I'm Benedict. Today is March 31st. This is episode number 240, and I am feeling productive.
What a good feeling.
Relieved isn't a bad feeling either, even though
No.
yes, the reasons aren't the nicest ones.
So the trigger warning, if anybody wants to know, we're gonna touch on sad subjects. So my mom passed away, I guess a week and a half ago now, just a couple of days after we last recorded.
Yeah.
And at that time, I was very happy. I was like walking around town, like feeling very, I don't know, free with spring and everything. I also think I might have known she had just moved care homes and things escalate in those kind of scenarios. I didn't think it was going to go this fast, but anyway, I am happy and relieved that she didn't end up laying in a bed at the care home for months and months and months. So for anyone new listening, she has had early onset Alzheimer's. So we've been battling this or living with that for 10 years now. She got the diagnosis about 5 years ago, very late because of other health issues in the world at the time. So yeah, it's been going. It's been a downhill. It's been very stressful as the care. We have a word in Norwegian, pårørende. I never really learned what that word is in English, where you're the person who's in charge of somebody who has has a diagnosis like this. Because my parents are long divorced. Like, they're not even divorced. They they were students. So, and I'm an only child, so it's been kind of on me, fighting with different institutions and all of that, while also seeing your mom slowly just not being your mom anymore. So in that regards, I am relieved, and I'm finally have space for like good memories, which I think is a weird, which makes me most sad. See, now I get sad. It's that it's been so hard that I haven't had like the room in my brain for like all of the good memories. And now that
Mhm.
all of the bad stuff is gone, like suddenly I can remember all the fun stuff we did. Like we went to a Prodigy concert when I was in 5th grade.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Was
And
that
also,
her favorite band or your favorite band back then?
I don't think it was any of us favorite band, but it was something called Hyperstate in Oslo, which was the first like large rave party, and it was
Mm.
without a age. There was like no age criteria for
Mhm.
it. Turns out, because most people were doing drugs, that there was like a very little like area with alcohol. So I think she heard about it on the radio and she called me. I was at my uncle's and she called me and she was like, "Do you want to go to Hyperstate?" I was like, "I don't know what that is." So we went to Hyperstate in 5th grade. Nobody in class believed me, and then I brought the glow sticks the day after to like show some proof. But it was and Prodigy was the main band that year. And it was around the same time we also went to Pink Floyd Division Bell concert. I think that was either 4th or 6th grade or like around the same time. So we've had a lot of fun, basically. Um,
Very much sounds like it, yeah. And
yes.
I mean, we haven't talked about your mom a lot, but whenever you talked about your mom, I always felt like you look up to her and like she's been a big, I mean, I guess most people's moms are big parts of their lives, but it feels like
Yeah.
especially true for you.
Yeah, she was awesome. And I also gotten a lot of messages from like friends that I had like way back when even that has been where it turns out like she was a big part of their life that like they've said things like, "Oh, she saw me." And my mom was like very direct and not like very cozy in a way, but I think she just accepted people, but then she would also just tell them off if they did things she didn't like. So I often thought like some of my friends would like, remember her more as like, telling them off for things. She would be like, that's a stupid opinion. Like, why would you why would you say that? But most of them have kind of come back with like, but she was like a person that saw me or just like let me be me and like just took you seriously. So I think a lot of people will show up for my I'm planning a celebration of life kind of thing in the backyard of a bar in Oslo that my mom used to hang at. And when the agency called them to ask if we could do it there, because you can't just do these things anywhere and it has to be planned and stuff, they were like, oh, Vibeke, yeah, we remember her. It's like 20
Nice.
years ago she used to hang there, and so we're getting a good deal and everything. So I think it's gonna be a very fun party, actually. We're gonna start off with a ceremony and end with a kick-ass party. So a lot of my friends will show up, and hopefully a lot of her friends from way back. Because the sad thing about the disease is that you often you become another person. You often become like mean or trying to like protect yourself. You withdraw from people, and in that process you can like be mean. Like she was mean to me as well, like 10 years ago, and she was never really mean. So I think a lot of people kind of just withdraw. So I'm like drafting a message for LinkedIn and Facebook to kind of let them know that I understand, that it might have been like not the best of terms like 10 years ago, but hopefully they will show up and like remember, the good times, and join us in this thing. Yeah. So we're at the end of the end of the story, last chapter.
End of a chapter, yeah.
Yeah. But it also comes with lots of admin people. Like if you've ever had somebody
Yeah.
in your life die, and then I'm also trying to figure out things like, because I would just let all of her subscription run, but now all of her accounts are cut off, and I'm like, how long do I have until all of the photos vanishes from iCloud? Like I need to.
Right.
Like, if somebody knows, let me know. Like I'm trying to figure out how to like salvage. Like I don't really care about the emails and stuff. Like some things can just like, but back in the day, you would just inherit a big box of images or photos, I guess. But now it's like, okay, I have to, I think, save them, or they might just like poof,
Right.
stop
Disappear.
paying. Yeah. So I have to figure those things out, and that's gonna take some. Yeah, that's not so relieving, but but it's part of life, right? Just got to do it.
Right.
Just
Yeah.
got to
Yeah.
do it. Yeah. So, anywho, change of topic.
Yeah. Well, while we're at the topic of ending chapters, didn't you also end another chapter?
I ended another chapter. So I realized with the new funding that We is getting, so I'm the CTO at We bike rental, long-term bike rental company, e-bike rental company. I don't have time to also do my work at Outsetup properly. So I guess today is like officially my last day, but then somebody died, so I didn't get to do all of my transition items. So I'm going to be doing those
Right.
in the coming weeks. But yeah, so that's also end of an end of another story, last or chapter.
Yeah.
It's
Has
been a
also
good.
been a
It's
big
been
part of like the last 2 years or so, right? Like it's been a while.
it's been a while. I think I was like looking at things. I think it's 3 years actually. And especially doing support almost
Right.
every
Yeah.
day.
I remember
Um,
when we met in Athens in 2023, you had just started at Etc, I think,
yes.
right? Yeah.
It was this around this time. It was like Easter time ish in
Yeah.
2023. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's been 3 years. And I've been working part-time the whole time, and I've been doing like smaller things on the side. But now with which is going to be like probably not full-time, but I think brain space wise it's going to be full-time, if you understand,
Right.
like
Yeah. Yeah.
it's not
I totally
necessarily going to take
understand.
yeah. So then I was like, I don't think I don't have like the brain space that is needed for both. And we're doing, or not we anymore, but Outseta is doing a big bet on AI now, which I think is a very good thing for them to do. But it would have required a lot more like hands on deck, a lot more like brain space from me to come up with or like have the strategy for how I was going to do my work. So yeah, so I think it was best for everyone that I kind of it was a good time in a way with this new strategy, so that I wasn't like part of it and then
Right.
kind of dropped out. So it's going to be very interesting to be on the sidelines and see, because I really think like the AI focus is going to be good for them. The kind of system of record that we've been talking about, where Outseta kind of has all the data on a customer and can really enable AI workflows. So that's going to be interesting to see. So
Yeah,
I
sure.
feel, but if I feel like weirdly free, like doing, as you know, doing support every day does not feel that freeing. So I don't have to like run home and make sure I do support every day. I don't have to stay in Oslo to take care of my mother. I mean, we still have other obligations in Oslo, but like suddenly I could go on and I will. I'm going to New York first weekend of May to like a bachelorette party-ish thing. And I don't have to like bring my laptop really, because I don't have to do support.
Yeah,
And
nice.
I have to do WeWork, but that's going to be much more like strategic and also in and also coding work. But Ola will also do a lot of the coding work. But there's like, and even if there is a crisis in it can always wait 3 days. You know, it's not like with your emails or with Outseta's things where, you know, we're running somebody else's operations.
Right.
You know, if our billing goes down, like we can manually fix that, you know, 3 days after.
Then the invoice goes out 3 days later. It's not that
yes,
big of
and
a deal, right?
it's fine. So it's a different kind of. I'm looking forward to it being, more strategic and less kind of having to be hands on deck kind of work. Yeah. And April, like it's just going to be a slow month, because the WeWork
Sounds good.
really ramps up in May is when the big work starts there with our funding for a project. And then we're going to spend 2 weeks in Portugal now, and then just living the good life.
Nice.
Yes.
Where are you going in Portugal?
Same place as we went like 3 years ago or 2 years ago. Faro. It's like very all the way on the southern tip of Portugal.
Isn't it also
and it's in
most southeastern part of Europe or something like that?
Probably.
At least mainland
Probably.
Europe. I don't remember quite.
Yeah.
I don't quite remember, but I think it's something like that.
Yeah. And that was booked a while back, where I just at some point with like my mom, I just stopped. For a while it's like, okay, let's not book anything, we don't know what happens. But then I was like, I just need to just start doing the things I would do. You know, it's been 10 years. Like you just gotta you just gotta make plans, even if you don't know what happens. But it kind of all fell into place.
Nice.
So just gonna go walk the beach and eat some good food and do a little bit of strategic thinking and
finally do the year compass.
Maybe do the year compass.
It's still sitting here on my desk, not filled out at all.
Yeah. Well, I had excuses. You didn't.
Well, I was sick in the week I was planning to do this,
Yes.
so I
Yeah.
guess I had
Okay.
an excuse, but I literally don't have any excuses for not picking it up since I probably should have.
Yeah.
So, yeah, anyways.
Yeah. So, but fun. I have done some work. I can finish that before we jump over to you, which actually isn't on invoices. So, the two things that happened with we was that we got funding for a project, but we also got funding for new bikes or a way to finance new bikes. So we have new orders rolling in, and we really haven't had orders for couple of like a year and a half, like one bike here and there if somebody resigned,
Mhm.
but we didn't have bikes. So orders are starting to trickle in. So we're starting to see again some of the issues with our data model, because we have
Right.
repeat customers, but our system doesn't really allow for repeat customers, and so we have manual workarounds for a lot of these things. But one of the things that have been an issue for a long time is that if somebody doesn't have money on their card when we hand out the bike, so we do a payment intent, I guess, when you order, which is just like, you put your card in, the card gets checked to see if it's valid, but no money is being charged, because in Norway you're not allowed to charge for anything until it is actually shipped or actually handed out. Uh,
Mhm.
and then on handout, they hand out the bike and they press the handout or fill out the handout form that then triggers a subscription. Uh, but if you have no funds on your card, the way Stripe handles this by default is that after 23 hours, if they never get to charge the money, the subscription is just vanishes. It's like
Really?
it's yeah, because I think, in a digital world, it's like you don't want a subscription if there's no, and you would just stop giving them, access to user list, and they would have to like put in their
Right.
card again and do it. And there is like some setting where you can have it, you can force it. So I did that first, but then at the you can do a setting that is like, okay, if the card is declined, don't try again, just like send an error message back that it's declined. um so I think that's what I've set it to do now. But the people at the workshop wanted to still be able to hand out the bike, because it can often be like a lot of stuff happening at the workshop, so they didn't want to have to like retry. But we need to know, right?
Right.
We need
Yeah,
to
yeah.
know. So now, at least on our orders, if it fails, there is no Stripe subscription ID on the order anymore, and I can resurface the orders so that they can manually take it from there. Like, this will be
Mhm.
much smoother when we redo the whole system, which we will be doing um,
Right.
this year. But I like the operations guy was so happy that we finally figured a way, because what was happening in the code was that it was saving the subscription ID that came back, even if it failed, because it still, could do several new
Right.
tries in the next 23 hours. So the order looked like it was going through properly. It had a Stripe subscription ID. But
Right.
then when you try to follow that subscription ID, it's just like, I don't think you even find it in Stripe. It's like in this weird state
Really?
that you can probably go and like look at like because it's not expired, it's like not started. So they at least had an issue finding it in
Mhm.
Stripe. I'm sure it's there because it's like legally it
Right.
can't just be um but the customer isn't. Yeah, it was a weird thing. Anyway, I found a
Yeah,
hack. At least we're surfacing it now,
good.
and not giving people, letting them have a free bike for months until we
Yeah.
realize what's up.
I think there's a setting somewhere that allows you to specify what happens if a like subscription payment fails repeatedly, and I think
Mhm,
there's a setting to auto cancel, or I think what we have, we just like mark them as past due and just keep
mhm.
them there, and then handle
Yeah.
this everything on our side. But maybe
Yeah, and
for you
that
it's set to cancel.
we have the same thing on subscriptions that have been started. So
Oh,
if
right. Okay.
you like, you've had it for 3 months and then your card is declined, it will be set to past due, and then we have a manual process to like follow up past due
Right.
invoices.
What's it?
Because
Okay. Because we don't have this. Like I was like, it's not a problem in our system. But I think the difference is we have trials. So when you start a new subscription in Userlist, the subscription is created right away with a $0 charge. Like you always get a first invoice that's $0, and then 2 weeks after the subscription ends the trial period and then charges you again. And that, I guess, if that then fails, it's still set up, right? Like because I've been running, but I'm not sure what would happen if there was no trial. Maybe, yeah, that's probably the thing
And
you're running into.
yeah, and I think there also, as I said, there's some setting where it's like, do you want it to error out on the first
Right.
try so that like you get a reply back right away being like, okay, there's no money
Right.
on this
Yeah.
card, but the default is that it will try for 23 hours and then something there's probably more settings, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I am
makes sense.
thinking that we need to do something similar where when people order, we set a free trial, and like I'm gonna have to research this, and if people know more, because I would love it for the subscription to kind of start, but then when we hand it out, we kind of just push it, like we say the free trial kind of ends as they get it
Right.
handed out, and then we push the subscription date, because there are and we also might want to take a deposit, because we're allowed to take a deposit, but it has to be named a deposit, and then that would have to be taken out of their first payment when it gets handed out. So I'm gonna.
Isn't there also
these are solvable issues? It's just that we
Right.
haven't had time to look at it, but we have now.
Nice, yeah. Isn't there also a way to pre-authorize a certain amount, so where you like not charge it, but like reserve a certain amount? Maybe that's something you could try looking into as well.
Yeah, and that's what I see most like Norwegian web shops do, right? They just make sure that there was money, but it might still be gone when you wanna.
But I think I mean, at least the way I understand it with the pre-authorization is like you kind of mark it as claimed, and then it cannot be spent on anything else.
Yeah, I'll have to look into the legality, because I know that we have very strict rules when it comes to online shopping, that
right,
like they can't claim the money until the shipment is actually
for sure
sent. While most like American systems just assume you just take the money and then you
take the money and then run.
Take the money and run. Well, like I know that in the Norwegian system it has to be like tied to the shipment. It has to go out of the store before you're allowed to claim the money. We'll figure it out, and it's not like we have that many customers. We just need to know so that we can follow up, because almost all of this follow-up happens manually, because as soon as they have the bike, as we talked about before, we cannot brick the bike, so we have to follow up people manually, because we have no way of kind of take back the service or close up the service.
You cannot remote disable the bike.
No, but that is what the funding is for. So the large project we're doing is on IoT devices. And one thing we're going to explore is that you connect the IoT device to the engine. And if you haven't paid, the engine will not start.
Then you have to still pedal yourself.
Well, these bikes are heavy.
Yeah,
you do not want to.
Yeah, they are.
But then you're like, do you want to mess with the engine? Because do we trust the IoT devices? And suddenly we have people who can't start their bikes because something is off in the IoT device.
Yeah.
So this is what the whole project is about. Is like, how can IoT devices, enable better fleet management? And we're going to be testing all kinds of different scenarios on our customers as an input to this larger research project.
Nice.
Enough about me. How's Q1 been for you?
Today is the last day of Q1, and I just spent earlier today reviewing a little bit of what we've done this quarter, and most importantly, matching it to what we had planned to do this quarter. And while it has been a super busy time, we got a lot of stuff done, but not necessarily all the things that we set out to, but a lot of other stuff on top. Like it was one of those quarters where we made a plan and then did not follow the plan. I blame AI for most of this because, yeah.
I blame AI. It's going to be the track, like the track of 2026.
I mean, I not in the sense of like that I asked AI and it did stuff. It's more like because I started exploring AI stuff more in January. I just got sidetracked. Like we had a plan to really focus and double down on the theming improvements, the editor improvements, WYSIWYG improvements, to have like the pretty emails project. And there has been progress there. And Leo has been doing fantastic work on getting some of the fundamentals in there so we can actually do pretty cool stuff once we roll out the new theming. But I was supposed to work on that as well, like on backend changes and stuff like that, and strategic and like figuring out what exactly you want to do and stuff like that. And all of that stuff didn't happen, basically. So we made good progress on the fundamentals of like building blocks and UI refactoring and stuff like that. So we're in a good spot there, but like we still don't quite know what we actually want to build. Like we have some ideas, but we have not, or I should say I have not made the time to actually figure out the actual scope and the actual feature set, I guess. And that's mostly because I instead built the MCP server, started playing around with that stuff, and then realized, we need to do before I did the MCP server, did all the OAuth improvements for the MCP server. And then once the MCP server was there, was like, now we need to do the serializer stuff. And it was a lot of exploration on tangents and not actually the thing we planned to do. But I think overall
that's common. I think that's common all over.
It's
lot of SaaS. It's as I said, like AI is to blame, and I think that both in terms of what's going to be made and errors that's going to happen, but also in terms of, okay, we had a plan. AI just said, F the plan. you need to allow for agents or die, kind of has been the narrative.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not sure it's that hair on fire situation at this point, but like still, like it felt a little bit like if we don't start looking into that stuff, we might run into a problem. And I mean, we haven't shipped anything properly at this point. Like not like the MCP server is still experimental. It's still shitty as hell. And but still, we at least explored it and at least know what we need to do in that direction. So it's not, I don't think it's wasted time. Like that's not what I'm trying to say. It's just like not what we plan to do. So I think it will be interesting to. I basically spent the rest of this week thinking a little bit about like what the plan is for next for the next quarter. And I think the pretty emails thing will still be there, and I still think we need to focus on it. But there will be a big chunk of AI related stuff in there, even though it's not necessarily directly AI into userless, but like improvements that help AI to work with the system. So yeah, it's going to be something like that. Anyways, that's that's the product side of things that happened in Q1, and I ended up doing a lot of marketing work. Like I recorded videos, even though it's only 2. And we improved the website quite a bit. Like we made a lot of changes on the website. So yeah, that's exciting. But anyways, apart from that, I took last week off, so not a lot of new stuff to talk about. What was funny though is that it took me until Friday to actually get into vacation mode. So
The whole
I had
week.
it basically took me the whole week. Yes. Problem was that we did see a database performance issue on
Mm,
Tuesday,
mm,
which might be related to a change that I made the week before that caused a little bit of more load on the database. And then it really started to become a problem on Tuesday. So I spent most of Wednesday fixing the performance issues. And there was a lot of like small stuff. I don't know. Like I ended up checking customer support way too much and then got obsessed and looking into small little problems here and there. It's like I said I was going on vacation, but then I wasn't disciplined enough to actually take a step back. And as I said, by Friday, I was able to not think about work, but then
it's
yeah,
the
it's
weekend.
the
You should not be
weekend and
thinking about.
it's the weekend anyways. And then Monday I was back at work.
Yeah.
So was it a waste of time? I don't know. I mean, I didn't work as much as I would have if it was like a full
Mhm.
work week. And because my wife had time off as well, we at least managed to do other stuff that we didn't get to during work weeks. It was like
Mhm.
deep cleaning the bathroom and stuff like that. That
The
stuff
fun
that you
stuff.
don't, yeah, the fun stuff. And then on top of that, our dishwasher broke. So that was another side project. Yeah, it got fixed today. We had a technician come over. But
You didn't try to AI it.
no, it was, I mean, we did some debugging as you do, right? Like try to
Mhm.
figure out where the problem is, and it all the signs pointed at the water stop thingy being
Mhm.
broken, and
Mm.
we researched the replacement part. Like in theory, we could have ordered it ourselves, but
Mm.
it wasn't.
You
It
know.
wasn't as simple as just like unplugging the old one, and well, in the end, it was as simple as unplugging and replugging. But it's not like there was a dedicated port where I could just screw it in. It was like
Mhm.
taking out the whole machine, opening it up, and
Mm.
then unplugging a thing, plugging a new thing. In hindsight, now that I watched the guy do it, I could have done this myself. But knowing where that part is that I actually need to unplug, like that, like, yeah. I
Yeah.
think in the end, we're going to pay about half the price of a new machine, like at least of
Yeah.
this model, which is a super cheap
Yeah.
model. But it reminded me of that quote of like, why are you like charging that much for like
Mm.
just tightening a screw? Is it like, yeah, it's not like the 5 minutes it takes me to do it. It's just knowing where to do it. So yeah, now next time this particular thing breaks, I think I will be able to do it myself, but it was still good
Mm.
to have a professional do it.
I think
So
I need to learn because our cabin eats dishwashers. It's insane. Like we have two kitchens, two dishwashers, one by the ocean, like almost on the ocean, and one further up. And the one further
mhm.
up just I mean it's an IKEA thing. It's been working since I remodeled these kitchens for my dad when I was like 18. It's like that's an old dishwasher. And we had the same one downstairs, and it's like it broke after 2 years. I think it's like the salt sea or something in
Yeah, could
this
be.
house. But then after that, like whatever dishwasher we put in there, it doesn't last. And this isn't on an island. Like we have to get these over. We
It's
have
it's
to.
it's a
It's
project.
it's a project. Like my brother-in-law like ruined his back last summer because of one it's a whole thing. And I realized that maybe now that I have more brain space, maybe dishwasher fixing will be my new hobby, because this is a never ending saga of this freaking
Right, yeah.
cabin. And I'm like, why don't we just not have a dishwasher? But I was voted down on that. So
Rightfully
um
so.
right. Well, it's a summer vacation. Like I can do the dishes, maybe. But
Yeah,
anyhow,
fair enough.
we know. But people are used to dishwashers. So hopefully this new one will at least last this season. And then next season I will like become a pro dishwasher repair woman. I will Claude and YouTube whatever is the issue next time.
Yeah, YouTube is pretty good at that stuff, I guess. And honestly, like every time I see one of those machines open, I'm like, it's not like it's rocket science. It's literally just like there's a little motor there and there's a tube there and water goes in here and then some stuff spins or whatever, and that's about it. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's not the most complicated machine, but like still.
You
I
need
was
to
a little bit
know.
worried about like not getting it open, then
Yeah.
maybe screwing it up, and then it starts leaking, and I don't know. At least
Yeah.
now someone else responsible for it.
Exactly. That's what's good at the cabin. Like it's just like a wooden floor that already has holes in it that that is actually right down to the ocean. Like it's not that much that can be not that many other people that will be affected if I don't do my
Right, right.
job right. So
Yeah.
this
It's
is
a good
maybe
sandbox environment to start learning how to fix
learning
dishwashers.
about dishwashers. Same thing in my house actually. I live in an old factory, so we actually have two drains in our like main part of the house, and
Mm.
tiled floor, and we don't know where the drains go, but there are drains, so we can also have a flood in our house without any real repercussions.
I'm not excited about flooding this house, especially as we're
Mm.
renting and all of
Mm.
the headaches that come with that. Then,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Anyway,
Anywho,
so
very segue or not segue, side quest. This was a side
side
quest.
quest. Yeah, it was a side quest. The other thing that I mentioned in the last couple of episodes was that we're working on the serializer implementation. I think it's basically done. I think my to-do list of things I need to do is basically done. Right now there's a failing test. I need to look into it, but for the most part, it's working. It's working with the UI connected to it. So the only remaining stuff I need to do is like polish it a little bit and clean up some stuff here and there. And then the hard part is like building up the courage to actually deploy this to production. I think this will be the hardest part, but I need to make sure that I do this eventually, because if I don't, this will be sitting there for the next couple of months and rot and not get used, and then eventually I'll throw it away and not use it ever. So
I believe in you.
wish me luck. I mean, the Easter holidays are coming up this week, so I'll probably not do it this week, but I think this is a project for next week to just like ship it and be done with it.
Do
Yeah,
you think
but
you had
other
to
than that,
babysit it after shipping it? Like you need to be able to babysit it a little
oh, for
bit.
sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I mean, we have a pretty extensive test suite and everything, and I try to use the AI as much as I can, but there's probably an edge case here and there that I didn't think of, something that's not properly tested, or it's just something that someone figures out that I hadn't thought about. So it will need some babysitting, but then hopefully we'll be fine. So yeah, project for next week, I guess.
Well, we're
But
gonna be
yeah,
excited to hear about it in 2 weeks.
yeah, maybe horror stories or success stories, or me chickening out and not doing it. It's one of those three, I guess.
You will get a virtual gold star from me in 2 weeks if you've shipped it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, while you're on vacation, right?
Yes.
Well, I guess that's it from my side.
Yeah.
Because of vacation, nothing much happened, I guess. So that's
It's
it.
gonna be an interesting update in 2 weeks. I'm on vacation in Portugal. There is Easter vacation, so all we'll talk about is Benedict's serializer being shipped.
Yeah, now you're putting me on the spot. I'm not sure I like that. Anyways, yeah, we'll see. Like, stay tuned for the big reveal. Did Benedict ship the actual thing, or did he not? Well,
I guess that's
see
it.
you around the interwebs.
Absolutely. Bye-bye.
Bye.